and
We're live.
and showed the danger cord.
The danger cord.
Don't listen to danger cord. Jim's talking about his danger cord.
I mean, it violates probably a whole lot of OSHA regulations, and you know.
Well, I hope OSHA's not watching.
I hope so too. I hope so too.
He lives at 1313
Mockingbird Lane. That's right.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Especially all y'all that came from Vince's stream or premiere or whatever it was Vince was doing. Thank y'all.
All y'all
premiering tonight. I've been outside working all day. Well, for a couple hours, I was working on my motorcycle, trying to get ready for Course Fest, so I can keep up with the big 125 that T.O. just bought.
Yeah. My 8 horsepower of Fury.
What is yours? 250.
Yeah,
Check.
it's very low on the power for a 250 compared to a lot of them out there these days. But
250
it's
angry ponies.
Well, that's not horsepower. That's just cubics.
Oh, that's 200.
That's just
250
cc's.
angry bees.
That would be cubic centimeters. Just
Yes.
Metric, yeah.
But it has a street type motor, which is really good because long intervals between oil changes and valve adjustments, which is important. We'll just go around the room today. We just did this yesterday, but hey, T.O., he's probably done something different today. So go ahead, T.O. Tell us what you did today.
I got Winlink working on 3 different radios today. One of them is the Winlink gateway server. So I'll have a video on what the hell is Winlink and why do you need it. Then I'll have a video on setting up a Winlink gateway server, which is actually easy from a tech perspective, but hard from a paperwork perspective. And then, start doing some Winlink stuff. So if y'all are on Winlink, send me an email at km9g.
I'm just laughing because
So we can't send an email if we're not on Winlink?
You could send it to km9g at winlink.org, but that would
Okay.
be cheating.
Thank you, Wayne.
Minimum effort, Jim.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne.
It's phoning it in, son. Thanks, Wayne.
I was just laughing. I got it.
You had to be known for one thing, right?
I answered this guy's comment to me, and I got a like. I don't know if it was him or not. It was nice. I was nice about it. Hey,
Thank you, Jeff.
Jim, what you got besides doing all that electrical work that's not code? What else you got going on?
That's it.
That's it?
Upgraded a couple of printers yesterday. Put in a new extruder.
Ooh, upgrade printers.
Made
On
some
the farm- at the
modifications.
farm, huh? Jim's actually got a print farm. He doesn't use it as a print farm, but he's kind of got the makings of one. How many printers you got? Like 5, 6?
Just four.
Oh, you're down to 4. Oh, you gave one away.
4 too
huh?
many.
I gave 3
Just
away.
one.
I've given 3 away.
Yeah,
I am
just
helping out
keeping
the
big
community.
boys.
Ooh.
You are.
Nerdy Jedi's calling you out.
I was calling you out.
But
No,
calling
it's
Jim out.
it's warm.
On Jim.
It's warm. It's cold back here.
You look like you got a new shirt on, T.O. It looks like it just came out of the box.
I had a job interview today. This YouTube stuff doesn't pay enough.
There
Right.
you go.
Yeah. Damn it. Ape, what do you got? Well, you just dropped one today, right?
I did.
We learned
I
something
dropped,
today.
Here's what's crazy, right? So I dropped a video on calipers and how to use them. And I knew before I even posted it, even I did, I said, hey, this video's not going to do real well. It's really not getting any views at all. What I find surprising is if I decide to go on and talk about how crappy somebody's radio is, everybody wants to come on there and get all fevered up, in the comment section and all that kind of stuff. But then, do something like this. So I was telling my buddy about it, and he's like, I already know how that stuff. Or everybody already expert. And they didn't know all the different ways to use calipers, so burn
There's
on
probably
them.
ways you don't know about. Who knows?
But,
I will admit that Ape schooled all 3 of us. I will say
Well, I
because
schooled him in return too. I mean, he's trying to deflect and call it,
Well, not really.
low
To say
tech, low key
he
schooling.
mentioned the ruler though, but in his video. So
I don't think that ruler is an adequate measuring device because this sliding piece is in the way. So I don't. Maybe we'll say 4.5 ways that you can use it because you can use half of that ruler.
because you
I
use
think this
the
one would be better for using as a ruler.
100%, Chuck.
And
Right.
It does
And
both.
your notch
both
gauge
styles.
kind of sucks too, but that's all right.
yeah. I mean, I think the notch was minimal flare. I mean, if you're gonna
I
have
think
a
your
ruler,
minimal
if
flare,
you're gonna have
son.
a ruler, son. I mean,
Yeah, there you go. But see, I don't use a ruler. I use a scale.
okay.
Scale.
You weigh your
Is-
length. Weigh your
Isn't
lengths.
that what they
weighs
call?
his
Isn't that
lengths.
even the real name for a ruler though? Is a scale?
I don't know.
There's
Trying
some
to tell me spade bits were something else the other day.
some.
so.
This is some of those electrical channels are. They have to use, instead of calling it a ruler, they'll call it a scale.
It took him. He was talking about these drill bits, and it took him like an hour to find something on the internet
Clint?
that proved
It wasn't an hour. Do you call them spade or paddle bits?
spade bits.
I call them spade bits.
Yeah, either one. Depends on how I feel.
And somebody's
So I always
calling
call
me
them-
out about the scale thing. I didn't say that. I call it a ruler. I've never heard the
too.
word scale. It's a ruler. Even though mine is 16 inches long.
Your ruler.
My ruler.
Yeah.
But that was it. And then I changed my channel name, so now it says the Smoking Ape Ham Radio.
Oh,
And
good.
so-
Conforming.
I didn't even notice that part.
Well, the thing is
Kathy
like
just laughed. Oh, that
years
was
ago,
good
I got
stuff.
some advice from a large YouTuber, and it was good advice. And they're like, "Look, man, your channel name doesn't have anything to do with amateur radio." And I was like, "Yeah, but whatever. I don't really care, to be honest with you." And I just never thought about changing it. So, but I just decided to call it Smoking Ape Radio. Now I was going to call it, Ham Radio is fantastic. Ham Radio is wonderful. Ham Radio for regular people. Like one of those kind of names.
Ham Radio Adventures. Something like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to get lost in the sauce of all of those folks. So, Smoking Ape Ham Radio. We'll see how it goes.
Primate Labs.
I was actually going to take mine out.
Where but you added that to yours?
I added that to mine a couple of years ago, temporarily offline ham radio.
Yeah.
I see it right now in the comments.
All right.
But I
So-
I wanted to pop up in the search engines, and I don't think it matters. I don't think it does.
Well,
not for our
if
our
it's-
niche.
If it's based off of my video performance today, it's not helping.
Right.
I dropped a couple links in the chat on Coffee and Ham Radios here about where I'm getting this information from. This guy has a really good write up on cubicle quads, why you would like them, why you shouldn't like them, or why you should.
Thanks, Brian.
It is known that the rumor about cubicle quads is they open the bands and they close the bands at night because I'll tell you what, I hooked mine up for 2 meters or for 70 centimeters the other day. I thought it was dead because I think I told the story yesterday, but it had no noise at all. And I thought something was wrong with the antenna. I thought I didn't hook something up, but there was nothing wrong with it. It was working. But compared to a vertical, and it was vertically polarized, which does make quite a bit of difference. I did test that. I didn't show that in the video, unfortunately. Maybe I'll do it in the next one. But they are, and if you guys watch the video, they talked about a radio station up in the Andes or someplace. I forget, really high altitude where the Yagi, the air was so thin and the power was so high, it was just melting the Yagi. And that's how this antenna became about. What was it? Clarence Moore. He was a Christian missionary and an engineer at a radio station. Actually, a ham too. So he actually is. They gave him the credit for inventing this thing and patenting it. So, and it improved a lot of things. And now it's more. Well, I think it's lost. It's still out there, but I think there was more hams at one time that had it. I don't know. What do you think, Abe?
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments. I didn't see what you were saying.
I thought you had something to say there. But so basically a cubicle quad
Thanks, Dean.
at 2 elements is almost equal to a Yagi at 3 elements. Not quite.
A lot
It's
of gain
around
on this chart.
it's about 7 dB for 2 elements. And that can go different for every band and stuff. I had a guy dispute my 15 dB game, which it wasn't really that. I was just for getting you guys to click on. Sorry. It looked better than 10, but it's probably 10 to 12. But I think what he did is he watched the beginning of the, typical. Watched the beginning and didn't watch anything else. Where it was it was going to be 2 elements to start with. If you guys watch the video for Ziggy's little contest, but they have a lot of good things about them because they're a closed. Because like a Yagi sits here like this, and all the ends are open, right? The cubicle quad, other than the opening where it's driven at, is all closed off. So that Intel's making it just a little bit quieter. And I have to say that one, the thing is really quiet. I mean, you're still going to hear noise, like anything else. And if you guys that that are out there that have used Yagis, you know how Yagis are usually quieter unless you're pointed at a noise. Then they'll make it worse. But in fact, north for me is not a good direction for some reason. I don't know if somebody down the street has something. Actually, that's kind of where all the power poles end up, where they come to a joint. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, Chuck, you were talking a little bit about the ends of the Yagi, which is essentially a series of dipoles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with dipole antennas and wire antennas and stuff like that, they at the ends of them you have something called end effects, which is where radiation and current acts a little goofy and can actually incur loss in your antenna. When you have a loop like you do in the cubical quad, that problem goes away.
Yeah,
So
they actually put, I think, big brass or copper ends on the Yagi to try to see if they could keep that from happening, and then finally went to the cubicle quad. Cubicle quads are a little. I mean, people that have ice storms and stuff like that, kind of like you guys with hex beams and stuff, they don't fare very well sometimes in ice storms because of the weight. And I never really knew how heavy ice. You think about water; it's pretty heavy, but 7 pounds.
8 and a
7 pounds
third.
a gallon.
8 and a third.
But you don't think about ice when it's growing on something until I was up in Oregon and they had an ice storm and we were clearing all this stuff for this lady that we were staying with. And oh my God, you couldn't hardly lift the stuff because it was so heavy. So they're not probably the best for places that have stuff like that. I think they're pretty low on the wind resistance because you're just running a wire. This guy complained about the 12 gauge or the stranded wire too. I don't know what he was. Ape and I both read it and we're like, okay, whatever.
I just think that he was a bellyacre, and I think that he just wanted to piss and moan. You know what I mean?
It's on the ham license.
Yeah,
You must have a certain amount of complaints.
Yes. Or you lose your license. You don't qualify.
You have to file a certain amount of grievances per week.
Right.
And Ape said, well, tell people why you did a 70. I did a 70 centimeter because it's small and easy to build.
Gotta start somewhere.
When you start building these for 20 meters or something like that, even 10, it starts getting kind of big. And then the hub is the hard part. And now I could weld up a hub, no problem. And if I didn't care about weight, because I only weld steel, not aluminum. But I knew people that do aluminum, but that would be the way to do it. But
would doing like a 2 meter or 6 meter, would that actually be easier to tune because you have more fudge factor because you have more space, right? Like you got to be more precise the higher in frequency you go, maybe.
70, I took I didn't go through that part, but I took like a half inch off the dang thing, and all of a sudden I was
the
like,
band's only that big.
right in the middle.
I know. I would have gone crazy cutting and tuning and spacing.
I was afraid
and all
to.
that.
I'm talking to my buddy Gary. I said, Gary, what do you think? And talking to Ziggy because I go, hey, somebody, because they say that using a 75 ohm quarter wave 75 ohm piece of coax in line actually helps also. And at the edges, that's probably where I would probably put that. In the middle, I was like, actually, it was total luck. I cut it. Oh, I'll cut this much off and I'll resolder it. And it's actually almost exactly in the middle. And if I was going to do sideband, it's 1.0, so perfect for me. That's what
There
I like
you go,
to do.
man.
Yeah, I was building a 80 meter dipole, and to tune it, I'm folding the ends back like 3
Like
feet
5
on
feet.
each end. Yeah,
Right. And
But a
now we're
70
talking
centimeter,
quarter inches.
It's,
Hey,
it's
try.
like, just blow on it.
Well, when I was doing that little Meshtastic one, I was taking off as little as I could actually clip off of the Yagis parts because it makes that much difference.
Get at your
so the
toenail
higher you
clippers.
go and the smaller the antenna, the less you need to take off, guys. That's that's lesson learned today. You're doing 20, 40, you can take off a couple inches and probably not move it a whole lot.
The cool thing about 70 centimeter antennas is you can do some really elaborate stuff, like some real tradecraft type stuff, and it just looks beautiful. There's a 70 centimeter Sturba curtain at the Voice of America Museum in Ohio, and the thing is, like 10 feet wide and 8 foot tall, and it's got like 90 elements in it or whatever the math is, but it's just a work of art to look at. It's pretty awesome.
It makes you wonder what people were thinking or what they were on when they came up with an idea to do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, antennas, there aren't a whole lot of new ideas in antennas. This is 1951. I mean, even Jim wasn't born yet.
No.
This is
I
close
wasn't either.
close call.
He was
but,
close, yes.
Says the guy that's older than me.
I said I wasn't either.
But Chuck's young in heart. I mean, from
right.
That's almost as young as I am.
Hell, my wife wasn't even born then.
Cradle Robert.
be careful. Be careful talking about that on air.
No, she's a
Doesn't that make
cougar.
sense?
Well, I'll tell you what, my wife and I had it out today. I was hot. So I go downstairs and she's standing.
She still won.
Yeah, she was standing on the kitchen table because she was hanging balloons up. And I was like, what in the F are you doing? You know, because I'm like, the tables, we're going to be at the hospital.
My table.
It's like, you know how much a table costs? No, just kidding. But
That's probably what he said. That's probably what he said.
no, but I was just like, I can't even believe that you're doing that because, you know, that's how accidents and stuff happen. Get your ass off that table, you know.
Look at you, Safety Dan.
Listen, I got to pay the insurance premiums around here. This stuff isn't cheap.
Right.
So,
So basically,
and that
anytime you
conversation went downhill fast.
I bet it did.
guys- if you guys
She's still
want to
standing on the
exper-
table hanging up balloons after that?
No, but I was like, don't me never catch you up on that table again.
Right.
Please, honey.
And after she got done beating you up and you got done apologizing, here you are on
Right.
screen.
I was mad.
What's that? Oh, it's your black eye mat stuff.
Right.
So if you do guys want to play with antennas, 70 and even 2 meter, that's a good place to play with stuff because they aren't big. That was 6 elements and it was less than 2 feet. I had a 2-foot stick that was on. I don't have it with me. It's in my truck right
We
now.
got a high deductible plan.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
the
health insurance
deductible's
ain't
worse
free.
than
It's just somebody else paying for it.
Yeah,
So-
Andy, that's probably what she said. I asked you to hang him 5 times. You mentioned it 6 months ago. There's no need to nag, honey.
It's on my list.
Andy made a really nice looking
Oh, my
Cubical
God.
quad also. It was a
He
2 meter
did.
one. Had it hang in his garage, but remember, you saw how much bigger it was, didn't you, Abe?
Yeah, it was.
Same amount
did
of
some
elements,
work
I
there.
think.
Hey, I tell you,
That's a
he's really good with antenna stuff.
Yeah. So they showed 2 different things in that chart that Tio had up there earlier. One of them was 12.4 dBi gain, 12 degrees elevation takeoff, and then minus 24 dB of front to back. But by changing elements, it went from 12 to 11.1. It went from 12 degrees to 14 degrees, and the front to back went to minus 8. So, and you have to read it. It's too much to read, but
It's a lot to read.
James.
I put that in there for you guys so you could look it up if you're interested in something like this. This guy, he goes on to say they're easy to build, but then he also at the end he goes, they're not easy to build. That was about because they're pretty good. They're kind of like a hex beam where you can put multiple bands inside of them. But I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
he's got
the
that picture
spacing's
at the-
different.
At the bottom, I think it was, or at the top. Let me see if I can find it.
think it
real
was at the
quick.
bottom.
Yeah. So this one here, this looks to me like it's a cobweb style antenna, but then it's multiple, like a hex beam style antenna or cobweb.
If you
style
look at the
antenna, and then it's
second one,
multiple
it's way
elements.
smaller. Look at
Yeah.
He's got a small one inside, and unfortunately, the pictures. He's probably got
But-
at least one more of those.
Might be hard to see the wire on stream, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Six
six cubes, six squares, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 elements.
So is that like one is the director and then you have a reflector
Those
kind
are
of deal,
6
just
different-
like,
that's
Yeah,
6
like a
it's
Yagi.
a two-dimensional Yagi. Yep.
yeah.
But that's 6 different bands that he just
Right,
counted.
each one of the squares is a
Each
band.
one of the squares.
is a band.
And then he's got smaller ones in there, right? So that's
Right.
probably like in every single band antenna.
Yeah. Well, and if you think of it that way, it is.
That's a hell of a wind
space-saving.
load on that thing.
And then he's got this one here that's just a horizontal dipole looking thing. Yeah, this antenna is awesome. This is like everything.
Yeah, it's probably got. I don't see another small one in there, but it's hard to. Well, no, that
There's
one,
three. There's 3 small ones.
3 small ones. Okay, yeah.
You see, I wonder
Yeah,
if he's
there's
got
another one
11
here.
meters on there.
Probably does. I learned about these when I was doing 11 meters. A guy was going to build me one. I didn't know anything about it. That's where I learned about them. And he told me that like one of the best, and 11 meters has a lot of noise sometimes.
What you got on the Yahoos
So
on
it's-
there?
so it's
Can you
pretty-
know?
well,
nothing
besides that kind of
but
noise.
noise on 11 meters.
Besides that noise, just a regular noise. But just got a hit on my Mestastic. So
Heard it.
really good antennas.
Sound like ape smoke detector.
So you think about
Hey, that's
you
in the
can put up-
basement. You don't have to worry about that anymore.
Not my problem no more.
You can put up 2 elements and have basically close to a 3-element Yagi. So, I mean, I don't know how they measure all that stuff. It's all done on computer stuff. He supposedly did this on the expensive new computer stuff. He says everybody else is pretty much using the old because it's free now. I forget which one he was on. Let's try to find it here. Anyhow. Oh, but he did say that to me, it's kind of like I built a hex beam, so it's a lot like a hex beam, except that you can get more out of it because hex beam is going to be 2 elements. This one, 4 or 5, whatever you want to make, and then it also goes in. He goes into diminishing gains. Is that how you say it? After 4 or 5. Maybe 6, you don't really gain much with elements.
Diminishing returns?
Diminishing returns, yeah. I knew it didn't sound right. So after, and a lot of antennas that way. Yagi's the same way. On a Yagi, you're almost better to go 5 elements and then stack a second 5-element or 6-element, By stacking them, you usually gain about 3, I think it's 3 dB gain. That might be dBi. And by adding an element, you're making it longer. And you're not really gaining as much.
But when you stack them, you squish, right? You squish down the lobe that's coming out, so it makes it even more
And
concentrated.
there's different ways of stacking. I mean, if you're vertical, you're going to stack them like a Yagi. You would stack like this, right? In the horizontal, you would stack them like this.
Oh my word! Don't say it, Interstellar. We can delete this from the record for you.
Oh my!
Should we just put him in timeout?
Give him a 300-second timeout.
We spent $300 on it, probably.
So Chuck, how much did that antenna cost you? That's
sexy, isn't it?
70
I
centimeters.
probably got less than $20 in it.
It's a 10
well-
element. They don't have a 4-element. Yours is 4, right?
Mine's 6.
But
Mine's
yours is
6.
So
six.
that's
a
a-
mosquito. I have a
That's
mosquito.
A
What is that,
skeeter.
a 70 centimeter antenna?
Yeah, this is 70 centimeter antenna, $125.
Man,
You should
that's
point old boy to this says 10 plus dBi gain.
See?
Yeah.
that's a sexy looking antenna.
Well, I looked it up, and IA said anywhere from 10 to 13. So,
But that
and I
just
said-
screams it has to have a rotor to be useful, though. If you don't,
Oh yeah,
What's up?
'cause it's directional.
Man rotor at
it's
the
so
bottom. You just
direction-
turn the pole.
But doesn't
that's what mine
look
would
way
be.
better than that.
I'd
Well,
reach
if
out the
you had
window
a-
and turn it.
If you had a single repeater that you wanted to hit that was far
Right.
away or something like that, that's where that would make sense. And I told Chuck, I said, look, do 15 dB of fun. That's what I would put on there, even though it's not true. It just it rolls off the tongue a little better.
It does. It does. I think mine looks way cooler than theirs. Also,
What is
does
I'm
look
going to
cool.
show how to build this one though. I'll show you guys how to build this on my next video.
what's a scroll down? What else is on there? They got more of
A
them.
10 element, 185.
That's
Sweet
the one you
Jesus.
should order right there, Jim.
See, it only goes up to 12 dB. Aye.
See, that's
That's
diminishing.
satellite, so you don't have
That's
to polarize
diminishing
it.
return.
That says 13.
Oh, is it 13?
Yes, I mean that's
plus
twice
3.
the power of the 6, right?
Yeah.
So
No,
if
it's
that
10.
6 has got 10 dB, right? So you're
only
Plus
putting
3 is
50
double
in,
power.
right? So let's say you're putting 50 in, right? So double it to get to the first 3. So that's 100. Double it again is 200. Double it again is 400. So you get about 400. Use a centipede 10. Now you're talking 800 watts out. I mean that's
That's melting. That's melting the repeater.
that's some juice, son. That's some juice.
That's a 5-foot boom. So that's about right. I think his boom on the 6
3
was bigger
pounds.
than the one I did, right?
That's nothing.
Yeah, that's a pretty light antenna.
I like the universal mount. As long as you have the other universal part to mount it to, it's universal.
Well, it looks
Well, the
like
other
it's
thing-
on PVC, is what
Right, if
it
you have
looks
the
like.
2 universal mounts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing also, you don't want to put your metal mast
On a
your
metal
carbon
pole.
mast. Oh my God! If you put your carbon mast on through your cubicle quad, you're gonna mess it up.
Son.
If you watch my video, and I forgot to mention it. I'll mention it in the next one. That's the reason there's PVC going up. You want wood or PVC or something in there to yeah. I've got a lot of duct tape going on.
That'll look great on my Hamcation helmet.
Yeah.
Alpha hams only use zip ties, Chuck. Just saying.
I did a bunch of zip tie work today.
He was trying to get me to our little project last night. He was trying to get me. Why don't you just use zip ties? I go, because then I have to replace the zip tie every time I took it off.
Oh, you're talking about me. I didn't know that it was removable. It looked because you were talking about glue.
Yeah, glue. Well, I did use glue.
You was sniffing glue. That's what it sounded like.
I like gaffer's tape.
I do too.
I love gaff tape.
Hose clamps are universal too. Liberty K says.
Oh, I like that. Zip ties for shoelaces. That's smart.
Exactly.
In hindsight, I wish I'd made it. I made the 2 meter before, and what I liked about this one was the square boom because it kept everything from rolling. My last one, I used I used the freaking little small driveway markers for the boom also. Not enough to drill into to actually stop it from turning, so I didn't like that as much. That's why I went square this time. But if you do like Andy did his on a broom or it was a dowel basically for your closet, and that's big enough you can screw into that. So that works good. I use tape all the time for projects, guys, at least to get it started.
And he's right.
Yeah, I know, but they cost way too much.
And Chuck is a ham, so cheap, right?
That's right. Now you guys would probably agree with. I think Abe could agree with me after he figured out what I was doing. We're doing this over pictures, guys. So, yeah, if 70 and 2 meter, those are great bands to play with. Even 6, especially you guys that are techs. If you're a tech, well, unfortunately 6 is not open all the time. Oh, but I did make 3 contacts this morning on FT8 6.
Talk to Gary. 6 is open all the time.
It is for him.
Well,
Nine
you're
gallon
talking about
cans.
skywave propagation. Like if you're in an area that has 6 meter repeaters, right? You don't have to worry about band conditions, generally speaking, because it's line of sight at that point, right?
Right. Well, was that me that just freaked out on my internet?
That was you, buddy.
You got to put some more quarters in the machine.
If you're,
Chuck, you got to pay your boost bill, son.
well, Gary talks to people that are into 6 meters, and so they're there. Six is open more than people realize, as far as like Ape was talking about, at least ground wave wise. But if you really want to get long distance, ground wave is the way, right?
Well, somebody was saying that they were making DX contacts with ground waves. So maybe,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I never heard that before.
Ocean waves.
Ocean yeah. Waves. That's a new propagation
waves.
that we just recently
Ocean
discovered.
wave propagation.
Now, I will say, I if you guys have any way of making this more portable, I mean, because I don't want to carry that on my back. I haven't figured out a way to fold it up. Now, I have for a bigger antenna. I guess I could do the same thing, but
Hey,
it's
Doc.
kind of a pain.
Doc, how you doing, buddy?
Evening. So it was a fun little project. If you guys
What's going on here? There we go.
look at Frank.
He wants to know if he knows the Gary that you know. And I'm going to say no, you don't know the Gary that Chuck
doubt
knows.
it. Gary's in Indianapolis. Gary's
I was thinking
a
Gary's
very
not.
seasoned ham. When I have questions, that's who I go to.
And he is seasoned, and he's grumpy. I met him at, where did I meet him?
I thought that was the
Dayton.
same thing when it comes to hams.
Dayton.
He can sound grumpy.
He was a lot of fun. He's a CB guy too, or was, right?
Yeah, he actually worked when his start, I guess, he was in a CB shop when he was younger. Someplace
He was
there
the
in
golden
Indianapolis
screwdriver.
area. He might be the guy that taught everybody. Who knows? But yeah, I've learned a lot from that guy, fortunately for me. So he's the one that had me made the 2-element where you do it was a 20 meter 2-element, but it didn't have a reflector. It was just had a driver in front of the driven. Big gain too, is what it was. Very well. I think it was pretty wide spaced. That's going to end up being my new antenna that Gendron and I are going to work on. Are we practicing with that thing at his? Is that
I
We
do it
can.
at the fairgrounds at
Florida?
Orlando. I mean, who wants to go see the actual ham show itself? Once you've done a lap, you're pretty much done.
Right. Somebody was camping. He's camping out there, right?
John
Yeah,
is,
he-
yes.
John's camping out there.
And we're
know.
invited. We're invited to hang out with him because he said he'll have food. And
So if we get hammered, we can just stay in John's tent.
Dancing.
I,
drinking.
that's my plan. Is we'll stay in John's trailer
Outside
and
spoon.
throw up in his toilet.
Or I'd be like, I'm gonna go lay down in your camper for a few hours.
Pee in the sink. I mean, make it smell like
Don't
a
let him
frat
do it,
house in
John.
there.
Don't let him do it.
Upper decker.
I would not let me in there
This would be
unless
a
you
great,
got the insurance on that thing.
Into
No, there aren't
MAK.
any.
Mike is in here. This would be a great antenna for that guy because I think he's into 2 meter and 70 cent. I think he's into 70. Tell you the truth, didn't he? He did for the thing. He did some kind of a multi-band. It was like a 2 and 70. I think. I forget exactly what. He can put it up if he wants to. But
We are going to be doing some antenna fun at
we are
on
Tell 'em about
Thursday.
the fun we're going to do.
At the
Sing it,
at the
Ape.
Poda.
Preach it. Preach it, Ape.
Well, what we're going to do is we are going to do a field strength test for near field radiation patterns off of a Chronos antenna, and we're going to mount it on carbon fiber and do the readings, and then we're going to mount it on fiberglass like Jesus intended, and do the readings again, and we're going to see if there's any kind of craziness that comes out of that. So. Should be pretty fun, and everybody's invited to
Craziness.
participate. If you could make
Is this
that
it
any
right here?
smaller.
Could you plus that up some?
I did it on purpose just to see how long it would take you. You see me watching? Like, come on now.
He already hit the button on this counter.
Ape went with the sarcastic one. I just went with make it bigger, son, because ain't nobody can read it.
I would have made it smaller. Yeah. So this is Thursday, February 6th at Wekiwa Springs State Park on Wekiwa Springs Road. Boy, they named that well. In Apopka, Florida, the Live Oak Pavilion.
Is that an
door
Indian
prizes.
tribe, maybe?
There'll be pizza, probably. You get to meet some YouTube creators. I don't know which ones are going to be there, but you'll get to meet some of them. And you get to actually do a POTA. You don't need to bring a radio. Radio will be there. I'm sure somebody's going to have one. Because I'm not taking one on the plane this time. Maybe an
We'll have
H2, but
Purell. We'll have Purell there so
actually-
you can wipe your hands.
You'll actually be able to do a 70 centimeter activation here.
Well, I was thinking since I'm driving anyway, I'll probably bring the Kenwood. I got a bag it all fits in.
Well, see, this says
we
hosted
can
by
do that.
Toads,
It is.
It is.
but then it
Toads
says
for Toads.
yeah. But this is actually posted on the Hamcation.
It is. Yep. Our buddy Ron worked really hard to coordinate with the Hamcation administrators to get us on the actual schedule.
Oh wow!
And I'm not sure how
I had
much
some
pizza.
outside attendance.
I'm not sure how much pizza we're going to have this year.
So eat it quick.
The pizza usually gets there late, guys. Okay.
Well, since it's on the Hamcation schedule, I'm worried how many unwashed, uncool people might show up.
You
Chuck,
know,
I'm not
I would
counting you
normally
in there
worry
this
about
time.
that, but it takes effort to get there. So I'm not.
True,
overly
that's
worried
true.
about it.
And there's no batteries, so out there, for
It's not scooter accessible.
there's no scooter rental, right?
No scooters. Kathy looks like she got
Hamman,
ran over.
Connecticut's asking how far that is. 20, 30 minutes away.
It's a
Hey,
it's a
hey
it's a
man,
drive,
Connecticut
yeah.
going to have to get the Google Maps out and check. I don't.
Oh, I thought Steve knew off the top of his head.
No,
I
I'm
don't.
not driving. I don't need to. See, this is one of those things I learned from Stargate. I don't need
Yeah.
to know how to get from wherever we are to wherever we're going because I'm not driving. I
Okay.
just sit in the passenger seat and keep my mouth shut.
Thank God that at least one of you does, so I can listen to Waze.
You don't even listen to Waze. You don't listen to nobody.
I can't listen to Waze because you two wouldn't shut your cake holes. I had to tell
Now, you're
these
like
boys,
one of these
be
old
quiet.
people. Like when Jim's concentrating, he turns the volume down. Like I don't.
That's
Yeah,
a certain
turn that
age
music down.
bracket that does.
I'm driving.
The first thing we do in Jim's truck is we said, Jim, you have your glasses. Are you chewing any gum? Because you need to spit that out now because we know that's not going to work. And what else could we do? I mean, it's like,
Listen, here's where the problem is. If Jim doesn't show up, if he pulls any of his crap in, we're done.
my
for
God.
it, right? Because he's the only vehicle that we'll have.
Because you guys are too cheap to get an Uber. Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Between the three of you.
Abrahams.
yeah,
We got
Right.
you.
Right.
I don't mind. I'm driving. I want to be in my own wheels, whether you guys are there or not. Whatever. But you're welcome.
I'm gonna have to do a quick look-see in through your car and see if I can find my battery. That
It ain't there,
Dennis.
son. I looked. It got left. I guarantee you, it got
somebody-
left at that park.
there was a picture of it
really
in
don't.
your car.
No, the picture of it was at the park, not in
There
my
was
car.
there's another picture of it on the floor in the back seat.
If you guys can't produce proof, stop your arguing.
There is proof.
Find
Produce it is what I'm
Find it.
saying.
Well, the first thing Jim claimed he never had it, and then there's a picture of him standing there like
Right?
this holding it.
Yep.
Right.
Deny
No.
everything.
I don't think it made
Yeah.
it back from Huntsville is what I'm saying. I think it got
is that
left at
sitting
the
back-
park.
It's on the shelf back there behind him. Look.
I see
No.
it.
No, Jim's not
You can put
using
that
it
green
because it
screen
was
back up next week.
It was a
that's
kit.
my fun. That's my Funyuns back there.
it was a
Oh.
kit, so I know that it's not been used.
Yeah, definitely not.
Hey, I will give you the one
Or
I
Bill.
put together. You can have mine.
No, I
I
need
would
it to
not
be
trust
safe.
that.
How about I give you the 50 amp battery that you
insured.
gave me back, and then you just shut up
No,
about the
no,
whole
I don't
thing?
want that either. I'd rather be able to talk about this for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's
Pork
right.
chop sandwich.
that's exactly right.
There you go. The air hammer has spoken. This is Ron, W4ORH. He's the gentleman. I guess I can say that. That's putting
Ron?
this on for us.
I mean, he's a nice guy. I don't know about.
But gentleman might
30
be going a
minutes
little
going.
too far. He
That's
is
a
very
little
nice.
far.
Stretching it. Stretching some legs there.
But the other Poda Park that we did was also 30 minutes away or so.
Yeah, it was at least 30 minutes away.
You're not allowed in my truck this year, Mike. Just no. If you are, you're going to ride in the back with the cargo.
He was in the back. He was in
No,
the
the
back.
was in
back. The back.
Oh, in the bed.
In the bed.
In the bed.
like a
when he was
barn
at-
animal. You got to sit in the bed like a barn animal.
That's right.
Well, to be honest, that door was hit before Mike broke it.
Right.
Mike
'cause I
broke
think
the window.
Jim was changing lanes, and there was another woman in the other lane that he ran into.
No, I wasn't changing lanes. Mimi was in my lane.
That's not what the dash cam footage showed.
No, that is
When I saw
exactly
it, it
what
looked
the
like
dash
Jim
was.
swerved into her.
That's
like
what I
he
saw.
swerved.
That's what it
was
Like he
sitting
like he was
still.
struggling to open his Dr. Pepper. He was
It was
steering
like,
with his knee.
this cow must have some good
Newport
insurance.
hanging out
Let
of
me
his
hit
lip.
her.
No, she was
got
lying
money.
too. She was lying to
We
the
actually
cop.
might have the video of this thing. Hold on here. Let me just go. Let me go over and look in media assets and see if
Oh,
it's still
from
in
the
there.
from the Dalhofer incident. That's what I refer to it as now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
look, we
window
might have-
is fixed in that I haven't replaced the innards, but it's up and it's not broken.
Doc,
So
Doc, the food at Hamcation is stupid expensive and not
high
worth the money.
dollar.
He's a
Do
doctor.
not try to get food. It's actually better if we all go out and like take a Chick-fil-A order, and then one of us, one of us flies.
Except when we sent oil out to get the Chick-fil-A, we should probably wait for him to come back because he ended up with like 106 chicken sandwiches. You remember that?
Easy for you to say.
He came around asking for our order, and we all told him,
So I guess
"Give
it's
me a
some of the
sandwich, give me a
skin in your
sandwich, give
places
me a
did
sandwich,"
mine.
and then half of us left.
Where
Are
were
you
we
sure
when this
you're not
happened? It was
talking
in
about
Florida.
Dayton?
That was Orlando.
Jim,
No,
you're on
that was
potato
what-
now.
You know.
What?
Jim just went DMR.
He was breaking up the whole time he was talking.
Say
He'll
what?
come back and
Me.
say it's the weather or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's my.
It's his ass. What?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Talking out his ass
Can
again?
you see this?
No, actually, we can't.
He's pointing his nose
So
to see how big
while we're
it is.
waiting for Jim, there is going to be another Toads VE session. If you are looking to upgrade or take your test for the first time, the fourth Monday of the month, January 27th is your day. Join us over in the Discord. There's a link in the description down below this video if y'all want to sign up. I
Dang,
think
Jim.
Jim's better now.
He's still messed up.
He's a little pixelated. He's
He is.
censored. Those are the parts of Jim you're not supposed to see.
I do think I'm going to make a 10 meter. If 10's still open close to the summer, I'm going to make a cubicle quad for 10. I think. got some
a lot
good
of wire.
ideas for that one. Huh?
A lot of wire.
It is a lot of wire because the other thing I really didn't mention, it's a full wave also, not a half wave like a dipole. So that's the whole wave all the way around, but it's shorter.
That's full 10 meters of wire.
Yes.
Chuck, what are you going to do about this cold, son? Like you got how long until we're going to be
Don't
there?
bring that to Orlando, yeah.
I'm saying, son.
Should be done.
Sweet, Brian. So Chuck, are each of these elements a different size like they are in the Yagi, or are they all the exact same size?
What do you mean? The length?
So on a Yagi, your reflector on
like
the back is wider than your driven, and
Same
then your
thing.
directors are smaller. So it's the same thing with the cubicle.
Same
Right,
concept, yeah. Like 5%. Something like that. Yep. The only one that might be a little off the 5% is the director, because that's the one I tuned. You can go through and tune them all, but I didn't. It didn't seem to make a difference. Now,
Dave, we do. It's $75.
Look, Digital Dreamer saying it sounds like Jim is underwater. It sounds to me like he's talking on a Chinese HT. I'm just kidding. I had to say
Start that
too.
nonsense again.
Hey, what digital drive? He likes those, man. Watching. He's out swimming out in your ocean there, dude.
I know that's why. I
Is he
had to say
back?
it.
Is Jim
Aren't
back?
they
or is
all
he
made of
frozen?
Chinese components these days?
No, he's just sitting here letting y'all fools yammer on.
Y'all fools.
Y'all fools. All y'all fools. I pity the fool.
Yeah. So, yeah, they get progressively smaller. I think the 70 centimeter. I think it's one
So
of the
when you
cooler
did
looking
yours,
ones.
what did you make? What did you use for the parts to hold everything together? You 3D printed a bunch of it, right?
I printed almost everything. Yeah. So I had like this. These were the where the each element comes out, where the
Right.
spreaders come out, and then it had these, and I redesigned them so they hold better because they actually make these smaller than they used to. They're thinner, and that
Jesus.
holds the wires. A lot of print time though. That's the bad thing about it. If you could make it out of stuff that's like, I've got something else.
Thank you, Andy.
If I did on the bigger, the ones from Tractor Supply, I wouldn't have to print most of those parts because they make something that would work fine for the outsides for the wires to hook to. So I'll probably show that the next one. It's a lot of people ask me, well, what if I don't have a 3D printer? And that's the problem when you do something with a 3D printer. But you know,
We talked about that
And
yesterday, didn't
Ronnie wants to know if I'm going to publish the parts. I will try to. Yeah, Ronnie. Probably Thingiverse.
$79.95. Kathy stepped
Kathy's
on one.
lots of parts. Yeah, she didn't. Well, I didn't let. She didn't come in here. She might.
we? Honestly, and in here, I would point out that you can get an A1 Mini, which is big enough to print every part Chuck has there
Oh yeah, easy.
for $180. Number two, there's a whole ton of us in Toads who, if you ask, would probably print stuff for you for little to no cost. And if you fold paper like the ape, you can get PCB Way or
PCB Way.
JLCP PCB to print stuff for you.
Hey, wait a minute.
As
They're
lo-
not paying us.
Right.
I'm just-
I could
free-
play a quick
they're not getting
PCB
free
Wave
stuff from
promo if
us.
you want.
No, we're not giving it away. I'm just saying they can commercially print stuff for you. You have a
need to
lot of
talk to
options,
your PCB Way rep and get her to sponsor this show too.
right?
Yeah, there you go.
Should.
Quit hogging the money there, Abe. There's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
a good ad,
options.
by the way.
There's a lot of options for 3D printers, and honestly, if you can afford $1,000 radio, you could drop $180 on a 3D printer. So
Yeah, I'll show you guys.
Jim
how to
counting everybody else's money. See that?
make- He is. But my next video I'll do on another one. It's going to be just how to build it, and I'll show you how to build it out of PVC easily. And I got that from Dave Tadlock. If you
Send
guys,
it
that
to
guy's
him.
been around. Dave Tadlock if you guys want to know about making your own cubicle quads and stuff, that guy's it does a really good job.
PVC is like prehistoric 3D printers. Honestly,
What is PVC?
PVC.
actually
It's like a
pretty
It's like an
prehistoric 3D
erector
printer.
set or
Yeah,
Lincoln logs.
there you go.
Yeah, once they made that 6-way PVC piece, it's got the
Bob's your
cross
uncle.
and the through.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That ain't plumbing.
They're hard to find though.
That's antenna parts, son.
All right. Well, listen. Just
furniture
everybody
stuff.
knows
Please,
what
right.
happened with the window last time. It took me a while to. I just had to do all this
you
work
found
to
it?
convert it. Yeah.
No wonder you're so quiet.
I rolled down the window to get some air in here, in Jim's car of hot air, and then I went to roll it up when the AC came on, and it doesn't roll up any farther than this.
And we think that window pass through is the problem,
Well, T.O.'s suggestion is to take this off
and reseat it.
and roll the window all the way down, so the infundibular connection sensor will reset.
Oh. All right, here we go. Now
The window's gonna break.
You don't need it. Pull it off.
Why are you guys taking that off now?
Because the window won't go up all the way because Mike broke it.
That makes sense.
By rolling it down.
Well, it is a Ford.
Well, no,
Everybody knows, Mike, Ford windows, you don't roll them down because they won't come back up.
I've never had a problem with my windows.
it's the Gazentas.
Yeah.
Well, you must have done a
Well, there you go.
This is what happens in
roll-up
Hamcation.
windows though.
Look how
And
much
any other
fatter
ham
my
fest we
face
go
was
to.
in that video too. Man,
So, but the thing is that when we got to, we got the window up and we got on the road on our merry way, and then we got to our destination, and somebody wound it down again, and then we went through the whole, and then we had to do a rescue call on 5.2 to UTO, right? And I'm not making it up. That's what happened. Is we had damn, we have to reach out to a ham. Let's hurry up and get on the radio. We made a distress call on 5.2. TO answered. Had to turn around and drive back. He was going to the Wawa or something like that, and had to come back and fix the window a second time. I should have taken that one too.
Mike came up with that navicular or whatever he called it.
infundibular pressures.
Infundibular pressure sensor,
Yeah.
It almost sounded like
Internal
it was
spur
legit.
bearing connected to the panometric FAM.
All I know is that Dale Halfer is not sitting in the back seat anymore. If he rides with us, he gets the front window.
Says it's not his
It's
fault.
not my fault.
We
UPS
did
guy
find
just
out later
showed up.
that door had been hit before though, so just saying.
That's what I think. I think that the window was damaged, and I don't think it had been wound down since the incident. And Mike just happened to be the unfortunate sap
Bastard.
that was sitting back there that wound it down, and then he was charged, but I think it was no fault of his own.
It was like Mike's computer. Frank happened to be the guy that turned it on, right?
Yeah.
Well, listen, between the two of them, I'm not sure which one of them broke the computer. That's an even money bet.
Well,
You know
I'll tell you
what I'm saying?
what.
Because-
I'll tell you what. In defense of Ford and in defense of Mike, Mike rode in my Ford truck and nothing is broken.
But you told him to keep his hands in his pockets for a change, right?
You didn't let
Where
him
I
roll
told
down
him
the-
to put his
Did you
hands-
child lock the windows?
Where I told him to
In
put his
your
hands
pockets.
is between Mike and me.
We just want to know, did you like it?
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't
Yes.
inhale though.
Oh, ham court, Chris says.
They already went through ham
It's like,
court, I
don't
think.
touch the damn window.
Yeah.
It's like the thermostat. Don't touch it.
Is that what you
What
tell
do we
the
got-
old
What
lady?
else do we have going for Orlando? We're going to do the testing at the park.
Yep.
We need volunteers for that.
John's taking us out to dinner.
And all y'all are volunteers at the
All
park,
right.
by the way.
John's
Just saying.
taking us out to dinner?
Yeah.
Nice.
He keeps talking about all these different clubs that he wants to take us to.
I didn't know. Thanks,
What
John.
a guy. Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Rick
members
is
only
exactly
chat?
right. It broke on your watch. That's right. Mike, you were in charge of that window. You grounded the ship, son. I'm just saying.
Mike, you only had to hear about when you were in the truck, though.
Yeah, I've had to listen to it for the last year.
We had to listen to it forever since then.
He's still grumpy about it.
Still, it's fixed.
And
It's still-
Andrews, I'm
still
just
a
going to
problem.
put the child safety locks on, so we'll have to open his door for him and roll down his window if he wants it down.
So that comment came
Very
through
good.
from Rick's Ham Shack, and I just realized that we've never talked about his YouTube channel.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do
So
it.
I'm
do it.
sticking, I'm
Let's do
sticking
it.
that on
Let's
the
promote him.
on the link there. I wasn't subscribed. And now I am.
Link him up. How many subs he got? Let's bump that number up.
768 subs.
Those are rookie numbers. Let's see what we can do. Let's hit 1,000 right now, people. Come on. He's at 769.
Listen,
least
we're
get
not
him to
going to the
800.
club. The club's coming to us. That's the way that works.
Oh, iced coffee. Rick's Easy Iced Coffee. I'm going to watch that one.
Oh, we got him up to 780. Come on, people. 20 more to get him to 800 at least.
2-meter J-pole, Baofeng killer. That looks like a TID radio. UHF ground plane for GMRS. Improving AESS. Oh, look at him sticking that foam in there.
Oh, 797.
Easy, son.
Come on. Come on, do it. Do it. You ain't scared. Do it. Rick said he's going to give away a Flex radio when he hits 1,000. There we go. 803.
Right? He's giving away Jim's Flex radio.
No, hell, he's not. When he pries it from my cold, dead hands.
And fed halfway versus dipole. Oh, I see a little bit of red hair there, too. Is that right?
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on
There's an
take
ad.
out every done.
I'm getting back on track with Factor. Fresh,
They're not
Steak
paying for
look
that.
good.
Let's compare a end-fed half-wave antenna to a center-fed dipole.
There
This
you go.
time on the channel.
Got himself a Yaesu radio.
That can't be all bad.
Oh,
look
God.
at
He likes
Don't look at
antennas.
Ginger directly in the eyes. They can steal your soul.
Right?
If you don't
Oh, he
believe
looks
me,
older
I
in that
see her.
picture. What happened?
Ooh.
Between the opening and the
Rick,
intro.
you didn't put on your makeup on that picture or something, son.
All right, that's Rick's
Man, I
Super
think
Chat.
we should have gotten a super chat and danced to that music.
Yeah. Watch us get a
we'll-
freaking copyright on it.
Yeah, copyright on it.
Only if Rick submits it. I think with all this publicity.
Let's see what we're up to. We're up to 820. Come on, people. You can do better.
It
850.
does age you.
Oh, I want to share one of our longtime channel members, watchers, acolytes.
About Ed?
Ed, AC3IK,
Let me see if I can find him.
dropped a YouTube video. It's Ham Radio John.
Yep.
Philly
And-
Ed.
I guess I should
It-
subscribe while I'm here.
I did, and it's like I'm going to have a YouTube channel video. It's the only video he has up at this point, but he's one of us. So y'all go sub the hell out of him, even though we don't know if his channel will be worth anything, but he's cool. So
It might be shut down by the federal authorities. Anything could happen with that
we
channel,
don't-
but we
those
still want to be
warrants could come
supportive.
back to haunt him. We just don't know.
Right.
So
So I dropped a link in the chat. You got more than.
Oh.
No, those aren't his videos. Those are videos he likes. There we go.
I was gonna say there's like one was from like 18 years ago. Is that
What?
is that him? Is that him in '91?
it might
The
be.
Please Touch Museum. This is just him with a sign over his head. I've met this guy in person.
Oh, these are all. Yeah,
Come
old.
on. Come on, Ed.
All right, Ed, come on. We're giving you bumps
There he
here.
Years ago.
That's him.
Hey everybody, this is Ed AC3IK, otherwise known as Philly Ed in the chat, and I just want to wish you all a happy new year. Looking forward to 2025. 73.
No, that's not he. He did a
Yeah, I know he did, but
he
it's
did
not available.
different one. Yeah.
He went from 18 subscribers to 34 subscribers.
Look at you, Ed. You're on fire.
Look at this. Hannibal saying he forwarded the link to the FCC so it can be vetted before he subscribes.
And Rick is up to 828 now.
Nice. Oh, Jeff. I guess this is going to be the YouTube promotion thing going on here. Our buddy Kansas Jeff wants in on this.
I don't know about him.
Yeah.
I'll check. He's a nice guy.
I like Jeff. Jeff, are you Tom's wingman or is he your wingman? I want to know how that works.
Tom's got more videos.
Tom does. I think Jeff is the wingman.
7 subs, 7 videos. So, Jeff, I expect a new video for every sub you get in the next day.
You better get on it, son.
Jeff is Tom's wingman.
And his channel is KSOJD, just his call sign.
Joe Brett, did I get a... Yeah. Did I... Ham Radio John Knack 3 X65 0. Sure.
Jeff, you're up to 14 now.
I think I might have shared the wrong channel for Ed. Ed might be so cool he's got 2 channels. Yeah, Ed's so cool he's got 2 channels.
I was saying I only had 13 on the one I was on.
I knew I wasted a subscribe.
I think Ed has more channels than videos.
Yes. All right, so this is the real one. Thank you, Joe Brett. This is the real one. That's it.
All right, well, let's click the video. Sorry, everybody's got to sub this one now.
Hi, this is Ed, Alpha Charlie 3, India Kilo, and I am at Park K0512, which is John Hines Wildlife Refuge in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Refugee.
I just activated the park. This is my second. So I got about 19 contacts. I'll take that as a win. And I'm on my way back. So have a great Sunday and 73.
Subscribe, just like that.
But isn't they got rid of that K designator, didn't they?
Yeah, it's U.S.
Yeah, it's now U.S.
And that was how long ago was that?
Well, he's just an old ham, and you know how hard it is to get old hams to change their ways.
Right. Keep calling it K Parks.
That's the one you put up before.
It's a little tiny bit different. I think one was his personal, like this is what I watch.
Well, I'm already subscribed to it. Maybe I already subscribed yesterday.
Well, which one did Foamer Rail Fan Frank post earlier in the chat? He posted.
I assumed he posted his own. It's Frank.
he put one of the. He's a Rick Roll link in there that goes. It looks like Ed's channel, but goes back to Frank's.
Oh, that's not Jeff's channel either. Jeff's channel is Ham Radio KS. Jeff got more channels than he got videos too.
I got to go subscribe to another channel?
Ham Radio KS. Man, this is all the subbing I can do for a while.
My sub hand's worn out. This channel doesn't have any content. Come on, Jeff. Look at this. Look at this. I'll subscribe to it. I'll ring the bell.
Post that link too, would you, Steve?
Oh, there's some videos. The Omnifixo.
Well, the Omnifixo, you can't go wrong with that.
That's right.
All right, fine. That's a link directly to his videos page.
That ought to keep you busy, people.
All right, I'm worn out.
I mean, that's a lot of subscription in one night.
That's a lot.
That's all I got.
That's a lot, especially for Jim.
He's got content, but YouTube's not surfacing it for some reason.
Who?
Jeff.
We got on John. I got on Don yesterday. Did I tell him? I thought I said that.
What do you mean got on Don?
I'm a little concerned
about his.
Don may not have wanted you to share that. He may not have told his relatives.
I thought that was a personal moment.
Well, we're gonna get it fixed.
I mean,
are you talking about his double?
His double. He didn't do it right. Well, most of it's right, but he didn't finish.
I'm like, son,
it's not finished yet. It's not finished.
Right. The way he goes over here lecturing everybody, you would think that he would get that right.
Yeah. You would think so, huh? Where is that guy?
Don, I am working on your channel.
He is. He was telling us all about you. I wish Don would show more of himself. That's what Jim kept telling us.
No.
See, ever since he got that haircut, kind of sweet.
Well, he does look presentable now that he got that haircut and doesn't look like a homeless
and
man
that
or
unstained.
something.
You're like that unstained Hanes beefy tee that he wears around his property. Whew.
Them flabby, pasty old man arms. It just does it for me. I'm verklempt.
Oh, he ordered some more. He should have enough now. Yeah, when you put up a doublet, you don't want to put too much coax on the ground.
I tried to tell him Liberty Cave. He just don't listen. He's like, "Well, damn it!"
No,
That's
he
what
went
so and
he
so
went 1-to-1. He did a 1-to-1.
Yeah, but it took a little selling.
Oh yeah, they both work. Tell you the truth.
Okay, Arthur, that was just mean, and I think you hurt our feelings.
What did he say?
You have feelings, Jim?
He called us the Other Ham Radio Club.
Listen, we haven't been playing reruns for 2.5 months straight now.
I'm just saying, we're live. This isn't Memorex.
Maybe Joe Brett can tell us when that's going to stop.
I mean,
yeah, Joe Brett, when?
When's that going to stop, Joe?
Why
Brett?
are you asking Joe Brett? He makes 5 videos a year.
Mr. Helper.
Because he's one of those guys. He's one of the clubhouse.
Johnny's asking what our goals are for 2025. Son, I got goals for just like tomorrow morning.
My goal is to be there tomorrow morning and wake up. That's my goal.
Yeah.
My goal is going to be to continue harassing people who did not realize their goals from 2024. And that's what I want to do. It looks like we've upset his old lady.
Love you, Noel.
No,
yeah, we didn't do it. We don't mean it. We don't mean no disrespect.
On Joe. We love you. We harshing on Joe.
Listen, and we saw the Shaq clean out video, so we know how difficult he is for you. So I mean, technically, we should.
And we know who's in charge.
Right.
And Noel, we know that Joe Brett kicked way out of his coverage. Bless his heart.
Folks, Joe.
He must have been doing an investigation and had the goods on her. You know what I mean?
It's the only way I can imagine she decided to hang out with him. I mean, I look at Joe Brett and I look at Noel and I'm going, dang, what the hell? She could have done so much better.
And it was kind of creepy the way he was looking at her too, by the way. But
maybe he is a serial killer stalker, and she's gone all Stockholm syndrome on him. That could be, like Patty Hearst.
I guess.
Well, anything else tonight, guys?
Oh,
so that's everything you wanted to know about cubicle quads.
Yeah, there's a lot. They look harder than they are. Of course, I haven't built a big one, so I will though.
Right.
I threw away a tent the other day and it had some parts in it that I needed.
Oh my God.
Like the hostage video where do Morse code SOS.
Right. Noel, do a tap code on the side of his shed the next time he does a video. If you need help, we'll decode it for you. We'll come over there.
Think she's watching?
Apparently, because we're pissing her off.
She's watching.
She's watching.
She watches all our shows.
So she can take notes and show them to Joe about how to do Clubhouse.
Well, I'm not saying anything bad
ideas
about
for guests.
But I would like to know. I was all excited Tuesday night, had my popcorn ready and rerun.
I know. I figured I really did. I thought they would have a New Year's Eve show. I mean, it's like,
well,
I mean, the New Year's spot was reserved for us, Avi. But
so I'll tell you what, though, if we didn't love y'all, we wouldn't be picking on you on the stream. I mean, we would just keep quiet like we do about the other ham tubers that we don't talk about.
Who?
Right.
There's others? I forgot. My other ham tubers, I forgot you were there.
Oh, look at this. HK saying she don't even watch the Clubhouse.
That's not true because we know she's going out to the Clubhouse to take the microphone and the camera away from Joe Brett.
That was like when it's like when Kathy had to come and get Chuck off the stream. Remember
exactly.
that?
Exactly.
Same reason.
Same reason.
Look,
it was actually
too much of this,
reason, but no,
alcohol poisoning.
I had one drink that night.
No, you didn't.
It was a birthday party for a grandkid. So
there was a lot of old granddad or wild turkey flowing.
Right, Chuck's like, I was on medication. I was suffering from exhaustion. Son, when you sat down, I knew right from the start that there was going to be a problem.
You were glassy-eyed.
Glassy-eyed. He was giggling. He was also like, and then it's all getting red-faced. Right, and then you could see the whiskey getting a soul, getting a grip on it as the night went.
Oh, my God. Okay.
It was a good thing that she pulled you off stream because, I mean...
Well, Chuck ended the stream after that. Remember?
Yeah, you guys made some remarks.
Chuck, you got your banana for tonight? Got your glass of
water? And I never heard the end of it, and guess what Jim just did? The same thing.
Right?
Did he end one? I don't even...
Yes.
Oh, he was.
Oh, that's right. He blamed the app.
About 12 fingers.
He's like, this mobile app's pretty buggy.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I had a straight up brain fart and just hit the wrong button.
Well,
There was no alcohol
it's
was
what-
involved.
It's what it looks like you're supposed to do.
It does. I got to
on the
agree with Chuck
computer-
on that.
On the
We're not
computer,
deflecting.
it is that one. You have to
On the
actually,
phone.
You have to back out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
it's weird
back
on the phone.
instead of go off. Because in here it just says, "Do you want to leave?" It says "Leave studio." Well, leave studio on the phone means you're leaving everybody out.
Everybody's out. Everybody out
Everybody's
the
gone.
pool.
It wasn't the first time
The
it
big
happened.
one, LC, the big one.
All right, guys. I think that was it.
Thanks, everybody. Much
I'm hitting the
appreciated.
button. Wave bye.
He's hitting the button. Later on, I'll get those STLs